everyone, my name is Mac and this is Mac's Cozy World. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about today's video because I am going to be showing you guys how to make your very own holiday ornament. It's just your classic ball ornament. We're making it with a couple of stripes in there, but if you don't want the stripes, just make sure to follow the tutorial without the color changes and you can just get one solid color. So grab your hook and some yarn and let's get started. Okay, so in order to make the crochet ornament, you're going to need to know how to create a magic ring, how to use single crochet, increase, and invisible decrease. If you need more in-depth tutorials on how to do each of those, there are a lot of those available on YouTube, and definitely go check them out if you need a little bit more practice before starting this pattern. To make the ornament, you're going to need yarn in 3 different colors. I'm going to be using gray for my top, white for my primary color, and red for my secondary color or the stripes. I'm going to be using a medium weight number 4 cotton yarn. You can use any color of yarn and any size of yarn that you would like. Just keep in mind that if you use a lighter weight yarn and or a smaller hook, your ornament's going to come out smaller. And if you use a heavier weight yarn or chunky yarn and or a larger hook, your ornament's going to come out larger. It actually might make a really cute plushie if you use a chunky yarn. Just add a couple of eyes on it and you've got a really cute holiday themed plushie. You're also going to need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 4mm or G crochet hook. You'll need a pair of scissors, a stitch marker, a tapestry needle, and some toy filling. I've got polyfill off to the side that I will be using for my ornament. Okay, so to get started, we are going to need to do 6 single crochet in a magic ring, and this will be round 1. So to make our magic ring, we're going to take the tail, yarn through, cross over, go to the front, take your hook, go under the first, over the second, pull through and twist, and then chain 1 to secure. And now 6 single crochet into the magic ring. Okay, so now we are going to close up our magic ring by taking the tail and just pulling it closed. Don't close it too tightly yet because we still want to leave a little wiggle room to get into the stitches of round 1. So for round 2, we'll be doing a round of increases. So we will be doing two single crochet into each stitch of the round for a total of 12 single crochets. So into that first single crochet, one, and 2. And now mark that very first stitch and do 2 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. You'll have a total of 12 single crochet at the end of the round. And I will meet you at the end if you want to go ahead and pause your video and finish the second round. Okay, so at the end of round 2, you should have 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we need to completely close up this magic ring, and to do this, we're just going to pull the tail nice and tight. You can see that's all closed up. So I like to weave in the tail end of my magic ring for a couple of stitches just to make sure that it is nice and secure. And I am actually going to trim this a bit so that the tail stays out of our way for this next part. So now we are going to make the loop so that you can hang your ornament on your little Christmas tree or whatever you might be putting holiday ornaments on this year. So I just grabbed the other end of yarn from my skein, cut off a decent length just so you have enough yarn to work with. Go ahead and thread that onto our needle. And now we are going to take our little circle that we made, insert the hook between rounds 1 and 2, bring the yarn through, and now go back down the opposite side through rounds 1 and 2. Bring the yarn through, take the yarn off your needle, and then just pull up the loop to whatever length that you like. I think I'm going to do mine about this length. Then we're just going to flip our little circle over and tie a little knot. So for the first couple little tie throughs, you don't want to tie too tightly because it's going to pull your yarn through. So 1, 2, a little tighter, and 3, pull it nice and tight. You can do a 4th, 5th time, however many you feel like to make it secure. I'm going to trim these so that they are not in my way. And now we've got our loop to use to hang the ornament. Now, moving into round 3, we are going to be working in the back loops only. So not this front loop that's closest to us, this loop behind in the back. And we will be doing 1 single crochet in each of the back loops for a total of 12 single crochet in round 3. So go into the back loop, and if your tension is tight like mine, it can be a little bit harder to get your hook into those back loops. But there's 1, 2, 3, and don't forget to mark your first stitch. 1, 2, 3. Now continue working into the back loops only for the rest of the round, so in the next 9 stitches, and I will meet you back here at the end of round 3. Okay, so we are at the end of round 3, and we should have 12 single crochet into those back loops of round 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's always a good idea to count your stitches at the end of each round just to make sure you're on the right track. So for rounds 4 through 6, so round 4, 5, and 6, 3 rounds, you're going to be doing 12 single crochet in each stitch. So just 12 regular single crochet going through both loops. So 1, 2, insert your stitch marker into the first stitch, 3. Now I will finish the rest of these rounds off camera and meet you back at the end of round 6. So just a reminder, round 4, 5, and 6, do 12 single crochet for each round. I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 6. Okay, so we are at the end of round 6 and now we are ready to do our color change. So to do this, you are going to undo your last stitch in the round, you're going to pull up a loop. I like to get my next stitch ready, so we're going to go ahead and take that stitch marker out. Now you might be able to see that I have already cut my yarn. That's because I already filmed this part, but unfortunately I forgot to turn my mic on, so there was no audio. So we will be redoing this little section pretending like the yarn is still attached. So go ahead and pull up a loop, grab your new color, and we will be pulling that color through. So make sure to leave yourself a little bit of a longer tail because sometimes you can lose that when you're pulling it through. Okay, and that would be the last stitch of round 6. So now we're going to start on round 7. So round 7 starts with an increase. So we're going to do 2 single crochet into the first stitch. So there's 1 and 2. Go ahead and put your stitch marker in that first stitch. And at this point, you would cut the yarn and pull your ends a little tight, not too tight that you don't think you'll be able to get your hook back in later, and then tie a little knot. And now we have our new color. There are other ways to do color changes. This is just the way that I prefer. Let's go ahead and tuck your tails in. And back to round 7. So we started off with 2 single crochet in the first stitch. And now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next. And so that is the pattern that is going to repeat. You're going to do 2 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, and 1. Oh, into the next. So follow this pattern all the way around for the rest of round 7. You will have a total of 18 stitches. So the next one's going to be an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, all the way until you get to the end. You should end on a single crochet and have 18 total. Okay, we have finished round 7 and you should have 18 single crochet total. For round 8, we will be doing 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. So there's 1 single crochet in the next, 2, go ahead and mark your first stitch, and now we will be doing an increase, so 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochet, so 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. So that's single 1, single 2, and an increase. So there's 1, 2, the same stitch. Now that is the pattern that's going to repeat itself. 2 single crochet, increase, 2 single crochet, increase. You will do that all the way around for a total of 24 single crochet. You should end on an increase. So I will meet back up with you at the end of round 8. All right, so we are at the end of round 8. This is what your ornament should kind of be looking like. And you should have 24 single crochet at the end of round 8. So for round 9, you are going to do 1 single crochet, and then an increase. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1, 2, and then make sure you mark that first stitch. So 1, 2, 3. And then 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. 1, 2, in the same stitch. Now that is the pattern that's going to repeat itself. So it's going to be 3 single crochet, increase, 3 single crochet, increase, all the way to the end. You will end up with 2 single crochet. And now we're doing it this way because we are staggering the increases. Staggering your increases helps prevent that kind of hexagonal look from forming. It'll help keep your shape look more round. So again, that pattern's going to be 3 single crochet, 3, and then an increase, all the way around until you get to the last 2 stitches. You will end up with just 2 single crochet at the end for a total of 30 single crochet. So I will meet up with you at the end of round 9. Okay, so we are at the end of round 9 and you should have 30 single crochet. For round 10, we will be doing 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, mark your first stitch. As always, you don't want to lose your spot, trust me. 3, 4, and then an increase. This round is pretty straightforward, with the pattern repeating itself of 4 single crochet, increase. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase. 1, 2, in the same stitch. So go ahead and follow that pattern for the rest of the round. 4 single crochet, increase, 4 single crochet, increase, all the way until the end, until you get 36 single crochet. You will end off with an increase. So I will meet you at the end of round 10. Okay, so now we are at the end of round 10 and you should have 36 single crochet. So for round 11, this will be our last round of increasing. This round we will be staggering our increases again. So we will start with 2 single crochet. 1, 2, mark your first stitch. And then an increase. 1, 2 in the same stitch, and then 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. 1, 2 in the same stitch. So that is going to be the pattern that repeats itself. 5 single crochet, increase, 5 single crochet, increase, all the way till you get towards the end. You will end off with 3 single crochet. So just follow the pattern of 5 single crochet, increase, 5 single crochet, increase, and then you will end up with 3 single crochet for a total of 42 single crochet. So I will go ahead and meet back up with you at the end of round 11. All right, we are at the end of round 11 and we should have 42 stitches. So for rounds 12 and 13, for 2 rounds, you are going to do a total of 42 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 42 single crochet for 2 rounds. I will go ahead and meet back up with you guys at the end of round 13. And just remember, if you need to take a break, give your hands a rest, get up, go stretch, make sure to do that. You don't want to get any sort of hand injury while you're crocheting. So if you feel like you need a break, go ahead and do that. Video will be here whenever you're ready. All right, we are at the end of round 13. This is what your ornament should start resembling. And now for round 14, we're actually going to change colors. So we're going to go ahead and undo the last stitch of round 13. All right, we are going to insert our yarn, pull up a hook, get the next stitch ready, and then we're going to grab our new yarn color. I will be using red. This color change might be a little bit easier than the first because the round is larger. Right, and then we'll take our new color and pull it through, and then do the first stitch of round 14, which is just a single crochet. Go ahead and mark that stitch. We'll come around, tug on the ends a little bit, tighten those stitches back up, cut your yarn, and then tie a little knot. And always pull nice and tight on your last knot. So for rounds 14 and 15, for 2 rounds, you will do 42 single crochet. So it'll be another 2 rounds of 42 single crochet for round 14 and 15. And I will meet back up with you at the end of round 15. All right, so we are now at the end of round 15. We've done our first stripe, and now we are going to change back to our primary color for 2 rounds. So undo that last stitch of round 15. Get your next stitch ready. pull up a loop, grab your new color, pull that through, and do the first stitch of round 16. So we're just going to do one single crochet, and then put in our stitch marker. Tug on our ends a little bit, and then go ahead and cut that yarn. Move this to the side for now and tie another little knot. All right, so this round is going to be an increase round. So we're going to start off with 6 single crochet. We've already done 1, so we'll do 5 more. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. 1, 2 in the same stitch. Now this is the pattern that's going to repeat itself. We're going to be doing 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. So 1, 2 in the same stitch. Go ahead and repeat that pattern, 6 single crochets, increase, 6 single crochet, increase all the way around, and you will end on an increase for a total of 48 stitches. So I will meet you at the end of this round. All right, we are at the end of round 16, and you should have 48 single crochet around. For round 17, it's just going to be a row of 48 single crochet, so you will do 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 48 single crochet. I will go ahead and meet you guys back here at the end of round 17. Okay, so we are at the end of round 17. We just finished a row of 48 single crochet, and now we need to switch back to red to start creating our second stripe. So go ahead and undo that last single crochet. Pull up a loop. Get your next stitch ready. And then change back to red. So for this next round, we need to get back down to 42. So our first stitch is actually going to be a decrease, our first stitch of round 18. So for this, we're doing invisible decreases, and invisible decreases are done by going into the front loop of one stitch and then in the front loop of the stitch right next to it. So you're going into the front loops of 2 stitches, pulling up a loop, and then pulling through. Now that's going to be our first stitch of round 18. So go ahead and mark that stitch. Give a little tug. Go ahead and snip your yarn. So now we've done our decrease as our first stitch. Now we need to do 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now another decrease. So front loop, pull through, and pull through. Now that's the pattern that's going to repeat. 6 single crochet and a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a decrease. So go ahead and follow that. 6 single crochet decrease, 6 single crochet decrease all the way at the end. You'll end off on the 6 single crochet and should have 42 single crochet total at the end of round 18. So I will meet you guys back up at the end of round 18. All right, we should be at the end of round 18 with a total of 42 single crochet. So the reason why we do a couple rounds of 48 single crochet and then back down to 42 is just to help create a spherical shape instead of a cylindrical shape. If we just went all the way down with 42 single crochet, it would end up looking a bit more like a cylinder and less more like a sphere or circle. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to round 19, where we'll be finishing off our stripe by just doing a round of 42 single crochet. So 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 42 single crochet. And I'll meet back up with you guys at the end of round 19. All right, so we have finished round 19. Should have a total of 42 single crochet, and we are now ready for our final color change. We have finished up our second stripe. Let's go ahead and undo that last stitch. Pull up a loop. I'm just now realizing that this red is showing up very dark on my camera. It's not that dark in real life, I promise. Also, my little dog is running around playing right now, so don't mind any noise you might be hearing. She's very bored right now because I'm not playing with her or snuggling with her. So it's going to be making a little bit of noise, I guess. All right, go ahead and pull your new color through. And then just do a single crochet for the beginning of round 20. And go ahead and mark that stitch. This is the final color change, so we will be working with our primary color for the rest of the pattern. Go ahead and do little tug. Snip off. All right. So for round 20 through 22, so for the next 3 rounds, you're going to be doing 42 single crochet. So 1 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 3 rounds. So round 20, 21, and 22, you'll be doing 42 single crochet. So I will meet back up with you guys at the end of round 22. And don't forget to take a break if you need it. Okay, so we're at the end of round 22, and now we are going to start decreasing. We are going to stagger our decreases the same way that we staggered our increases so that we get a nice, even circular shape. So to start round 23, we are going to do 2 single crochet, mark your first stitch, a decrease, so front loop of 1 stitch, front loop of the stitch right next to it, pull up a loop and pull through. So now we're going to do 5 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a decrease. Oops. Okay, and that is the pattern that's going to repeat. 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a decrease. So go ahead and follow that pattern around. 5 single crochet, decrease, 5 single crochet, decrease. You're going to end with 3 single crochet and have a total of 36 single crochet for the round 23. So I will meet you guys back at the end of round 23. All right, we are at the end of round 23 and should have 36 single crochet. At this point, you can start stuffing your ornament if you would like. I'm going to wait until the end of the next round. So for round 24, we are going to do 4 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1, 2, go ahead and mark your first stitch, 3, 4, and then decrease. So this is the pattern that's going to repeat itself around. 4 single crochet and a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. So keep doing that all the way around till you get to the end. 4 single crochet, decrease, 4 single crochet, decrease. You're going to end on a decrease and have a total of 30 single crochet. I will meet you guys back up at the end of the round. Okay, we have finished round 24 and I am going to start stuffing my ornament. Got some polyfill over here. And when you're stuffing, just make sure you're doing just a little bit at a time. I'm gonna stick a little tiny bit up in the top of the ornament. You can use the end of your crochet hook if you need help pushing it down. I usually don't stuff it a bunch to begin with, just because I find that the stuffing gets in my way when I'm crocheting and it bothers me. So I will just stuff a little bit down at the bottom and then keep adding until I get to the end. We're going to go ahead and move on to round 25. Again, we're staggering decreases here. So this round's going to start off with a single crochet. And I'm going to mark that right away because we are moving into a decrease. We'll go ahead and decrease. and then we'll do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and decrease. So that is the pattern that is going to repeat itself. 3 single crochet, decrease. So 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. So keep doing that all the way around. 3 single crochet, decrease, 3 single crochet, decrease, till you get to the end, and you are going to end with 2 single crochet. And then you'll have a total of 24 at the end of this round. So I will meet back up with you guys at the end of round 25. Okay, we've reached the end of round 25. I'm going to stuff my ornament a little bit more. And I find it easy, especially with rounder shapes, to kind of push out from the center. Helps with shaping. And then you can just fill the center in at the very end. And just kind of push the stuffing down and around. You want to try to fill in all the spaces so at the end you have a nice little circle. I'm going to go ahead and start on round 26. And for this round, we are going to start with 2 single crochet. So there's 1, 2. Mark my first stitch. And then we're going to decrease. And that is the pattern that's going to repeat. 2 single crochet, decrease. So 1, 2, and decrease. Keep following that pattern around. 2 single crochet, decrease, 2 single crochet, decrease. Till the very end, you are going to finish off on a decrease with a total of 18 single crochet for round 26. Okay, we are now at the end of round 26. We are closing up on the finish line here. I'm going to add just a little bit more stuffing. And you want to stuff it so that it's firm, but not so stuffed that you're starting to stretch your stitches out. So if you have any holes, like I kind of do where the decreases are, if you overstuff, that's really going to stretch it out, and it's really going to show any holes in your work. This is the point where I like to start stuffing it pretty well, because it gets harder to add stuffing towards the end, because your hole obviously gets smaller and smaller. But just feel around, feel where there's any like gaps where you might need to add, like you'll need to add some right here. And then I'll also do this to kind of just help push it around so it's round. You can see we've got a nice ornament shape coming together. All right, so now we are heading on to round 27. Round 27 and 28 can be a bit difficult because it's a lot of decreasing. They're honestly not some of my favorite types of rounds to do, but they have to be done in order to get your ornament or amigurumi or toy or anything like that complete. So for round 27, we are going to start with a decrease. I always like to pull that a little bit tight because it can get kind of loose. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and mark that first one. and then we're going to do a single crochet, and then a decrease. That is the pattern that it repeats itself for this round. Single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, and you do that all the way around. You're going to end on a single crochet and have a total of 12 stitches. So I will see you guys at the end of round 27. Okay, we are done with round 27, and as you can see, our hole has gotten super tiny, but we can still get some stuffing in here. It's easier for this one, you just grab little bits at a time and make sure you get it right underneath here. So we can get that nice round shape coming out. You can also go in the center and just kind of pull it, push it, what have you, and then you can just fill the hole you created in the center with your finger. All right, and I'm just gonna roly-poly it. Looking good. Okay, now we are on our final round. I will be completely honest, this is my absolutely least favorite thing to do. We will be decreasing the entire way around. So I will do the first one on camera with you. The rest I will do off camera because honestly it does take me a minute to do all the decreases. So we are going to decrease. And it helps me by sticking my finger in there and then just pulling the thread tight so you don't have a super loose stitch. Pulling through and then pulling through. So that was the first stitch. You're going to do that 5 more times for a total of 6 single crochet, and then I will see you guys at the end of this round so we can finish off. Woohoo! We made it. Finished that decrease round. I do want to add a tiny bit more stuffing into here. So I am just going to grab the end of my crochet hook and just kind of force it in there. A chopstick works great for this, a wooden dowel. My polyfill actually came with a wooden stick. I just am too lazy to get up and go grab it. So I'm just using the end of my crochet hook. Okay, we're gonna shove a little, just this last bit in there and call it good. All right, we are ready to finish off. So go ahead and cut your yarn, leaving a decent tail so we can weave it in. Pull your yarn through, thread it onto your tapestry needle. I'm going to switch mine out for a slightly curved one. And then we are going to go into the outside loop of each stitch, or the loop that is closest to us. Front loop. That's what I'm looking for, the front loop. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to go ahead and pull that closed. In this end. So just kind of start randomly picking some spots to go through with your yarn. weaving it around so that it does not come undone. Just take your needle and kind of push out anywhere that came a little unshapen. I pulled too tight in some places, so it got a little messed up, but that's okay because it's handmade. Nothing is perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just snip that off. Do some roly-polies with it, and there you have your little holiday ornament. And here we have our finished little ornament. I think it turned out super cute. If you guys have Instagram, take a picture of it and post it and tag me at Max Cozy World. I'd love to see any of your ornaments that you create, especially if anyone creates it using a different type of yarn. I'd love to see any mini ones or a super big plush one or any ones that look like mine. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more from me. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Happy crocheting!